Greetings and welcome back to another Crime Family Chronicles episode. I just wanted to go into and slap down another possible lie that circus cult leader stand up and say and try to twist and manipulate what I'm saying and everything. Yeah, I'm talking about you, circus cult leader. I'm talking about you, shitty one. And it is about the abuse of that sister who was disabled by the financial officer. Yeah, and the whole investigation by Adult Protective Services. See, he'll get up there and he'll say, well, I mean, why they let her go ahead and move back with him and all this and that? No, because you wrote a character witness statement. Yeah, or either gave one. You probably had to write it. Usually because they have to put everything in a file. So you more than likely sat there and gave a character witness statement. Oh, yeah, he's a good brother. He's a financial officer. He been in here, over 10 years. Because at that time, it was 2017. So he came in what, 07? So yeah, make it sound real good, and you probably separate had that whore of yours give a character witness statement and all that, and so they just said, well, okay, well, there weren't any signs of abuse or anything, and went ahead and let her go on back with him. Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah, sure can. So he'll stand up there and say that, but sure enough, it came out of, like I said, that sister's mouth. That's his wife. She said it. And it's another sister who's no longer in there, who was living with them, giving care to her. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all old timers. But before she got married, yeah, she was a single sister and she was living with them. She moved in with them to be her in-home caretaker. Yeah, sister right in there. She's no longer in there. And she brought it out, like I said, in that exercise room, in that raggedy ass dump of a building that y'all in right now. Yeah, sure did. And said what she said was that the sister who's in the wheelchair, disabled sister, was that she was telling her now that he was making her have sex and do sexual things when she was telling him no, she did not want to do that. He was basically forcing her to do sexual things and have sex. I mean, because she could still do some things in that manner. Yeah. And he came out, and like I said, that the disabled sister herself, rest her soul, who's transitioned now, she told it to she was gearing to be a mother before she was going to be a mother and be on the quote unquote mother before she got on up out there, and she told another sister that he was letting her fall when he was helping her with her bath and everything. So yeah, she wasn't lying about that. And that sister who's gone out of there, no longer in there, she wasn't lying. So you can go ahead up there, circus cult leader, and I slapped that down too. Sure did. Because see, like I said, I know you, nigga. I know you. And I got to cover every angle that I think you going to sit here and try to come from. Yeah, that's what happens. And like I said, those of you who work in social services and work in the medical profession, y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know that's how it goes. And that's how a lot of folks, a lot of adults, grown-ups, and children get placed back where they actually are being abused. Because the system is just overran with cases, and those case managers, they are just backlogged and they are just, bogged down with cases. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna say that, but that's what happened. That's why that disabled sister, she had to go and live with her parents in Alabama for that short while back in 2017. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stay on this officer who was abusing his disabled wife, because he's shown up a predator. I already talked about in the last video about how he set up here and he had sex with the one sister who was in there years ago, and she was a little bit, off her rocker a little bit. I mean, and I'm just the one, those of you, y'all know who I'm talking about, and y'all know sure enough that she was not wrapped up tight upstairs. But he's a predator. He preyed on her. He's a predator, preyed on his own wife. Your disabled wife sitting there tell you no. She don't want to have any sex. And even if a wife is not disabled, or a husband, because some wives sit here and do it, that is rape. That's rape. That's a sexual violation. Somebody tell you no, no means no. And see, he'll get up there trying to, you ain't telling me no, and I'm paying bills, and I got the rule and everything. Why? Because he's barbaric. He's a brute beast. He is a bastard in the eyes of divine spirit because he has no soul. Yeah, of course you would do something like that because you fit in all three of those categories. But with him, and I'm going to stay on it because with this officer, I'm going to stay on it right now on this video because, see, I was close with that sister. His wife, the one who passed on, transition, I was close with her before she married him. See, a lot of times folks don't know who close in there or anything. Me and her, we used to go play tennis together sometimes because we lived kind of close to each other. When she had her wreck, she was in an automobile accident. It was right over there. We was in the funeral home. And it was during one of them funky feasts, and she had left and her and another sister had went to the store or something to get something, and she had her Volvo. And her Volvo got totaled, and she went to once the accident happened, they went to the emergency room, and she came back, and she was like on crutches, I do believe. If I remember correctly, she was on crutches. I don't think she was in a wheelchair, but I think she was on crutches because I think she sprained her ankle or something in that particular automobile accident. Well, her car was totaled. I was we lived maybe about 10, I'll say about 15 minutes away from each other. And so I started going to pick her up actually for service on Saturdays, and then I would give her a ride home after Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday services. And I did that for a while, and she and I, we actually just, bonded, we forged a, close relationship, and I remember, we would be talking about, things we like to do because she liked tennis too. And I said, what? I said, well, I got tennis rackets. I said, I have tennis rackets and tennis balls. I said, we should play. And where we lived, actually, and it was very close to me, it was a park, and they had a tennis court. And they had tennis courts. And we would go play tennis sometimes. We sure would. We sure would. And I gave her the nickname of Deuce, and I call myself Love. And anybody know about tennis knows what those terms actually mean. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to give us names. I said, you're Deuce because she was cool and everything, and I'm Love because very empathetic and like that and just compassionate and all that. Not saying that she wasn't, but she was just cool like that. That, she just had that air about her and everything. And and I just think about if she hadn't married that officer, that financial officer, I really don't think that she would have had a stroke. And I'm just going to put that on out there. Because like I said, he is low down dirty. He's evil. Just like that circus code leader. He's just like him, that flying monkey officer. He is. Because let me tell you something. When they were together, and this is before they got married, of course, they were dating. She was in there. She was a sister. He broke up with her, and she told me She told me the way that he broke up with her was cruel and cold. What this sister did, she actually was a co-owner now. And the other owner was someone who was out in, world living their lives freely. They weren't in there. They were not a member in there. But she was co-owner with another individual it was like a coffee shop type place, actually. And she said that officer came there to her place of business and broke up with her. And she said the way he did it, she said it was just cold. She said it was cruel. Some stuff he was saying and the look on his face, and yeah, sure did. I'll never forget that. And I have the email where I sent to her, because I've been going back through my emails. I have the email where I sent to her, and I was giving her words of encouragement and motivation after she told me what happened, because of what happened to me in there with a brother that's no longer in there. Yeah. And I'll talk about that situation, and some of you old timers know what happened, and it wasn't nothing inappropriate. Like I said, I've never been inappropriate with any of them brothers in there, whether they single, whether they married, separated, or any of the ones that's gone. None of them. But it was about something else that happened to me, actually with us. And some of you old timers, I'll get into it, but I want to finish this on up. We're talking about this low down, dirty, abusive predator, this officer. See, he preys on the weak, on the vulnerable, on the infirmed. Yeah, he did that to that sister years ago. And everybody knew she was not rap type. And set up her and had sex with her, and it set up her and sent her off her rocker. Yeah, she was out there in the parking lot on the ground in front of his SUV. Yes, she was. But let me go ahead and continue on. And so also this flying monkey officer, okay, he also was talking with another sister in there at one time. Now this is before he got married, this is before everything, and this is before even his wife came in. That was even before he met her and stuff. But it was another sister in there, a singing sister who was in that singing group. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one he kicked out that night with the singing brother. And yeah, her. He was talking with her. And he was sitting up there playing games. He was just playing games. Silly. They get them characters. Them brothers up in them single brothers, a lot of them are silly. Just like who? Shitty One stand up there silly. Yeah. We'll send up there, overgrown man, sending out texts about your members, laughing, pictures, doing that kind of stuff. Silly. Because he's a little boy. That's why. And I don't care, I'm saying it, and I don't care that flying monkey officer, you can get mad all you want to. You know I'm telling the truth. You can get angry, whatever you want to. You know I'm telling the truth. You know it. Don't you mess with me, boy. For real. And it could be that I'm avenging her death, her passing, her transitioning. Because if you had anything to do with it, and I'm not saying that you did. I'm saying if you did, like I said, you going down anyway. And like I said, it could be she just gave up. Because I know when I was in there, from the time she had her stroke, let me go ahead and say this. She had a stroke. She was 44, in good shape. She was a vegetarian, had been a vegetarian for over 20 years at that time. Over 20 at that time, and she was 44 back in 2013 when she had her stroke. She had her stroke 1 week after the day they got married. 1 week. 1 week to the day they got married. They got married towards the end of June. Right there. It was like the last week right there. That following week, it was the very first Sunday in July of 2013 that she had her stroke. They sent out an email because I was already sat down as working in there. Yeah, I got sat down in May of 2013, so I was no longer. And they sent an email out to the congregation saying that she had a stroke and where she was, what hospital she was in. And it was 1 week after she got married to him. And after that time, she just went downhill. I would talk to the one sister in there who's no longer in there, and she and then he talking about she faking with the medical, and she's not. And I would just tell her, I say, wow, sister, and I would say her name, one in the disabled sister, and I say she just is deteriorating. Yeah, right before my very eyes, and I think she just gave up. And also, the only reason why he had her living there in their home instead of putting her in a home where she'd get physical therapy, occupational therapy on a day, but all that is because of that check. She was deemed as being permanently disabled. Yeah. So he was getting that check. If he would have put her in a facility to where she was living, see, they would have took that whole check every month. They would have took that check. See, took her disability check. See, she was not getting the proper care with him. Also, just thinking about it, she was 44 when that happened. She was still young. That is still young, and she should have bounced back. She should have bounced back from that. It's in there, and it's him who she was married to. Let me tell y'all something. If you get around someone and they low vibrational, they what we call evil, they deceptive, they a liar, just all kind of just negative. Watch and see how you start going downhill. You lose your energy. Your money will be all messed up. Finances be all messed up. Your mental won't be right. And I'm being serious about that. And that's what happened. I believe that is what happened with her. And when I came out of there, I used to always say, and brothers and sisters who are gone, I used to say, and I said it to some of them. The only folks I'm concerned about in there was those children, those minors, and that disabled sister in the wheelchair. And look at who I sit up here and put in abuse reports about. To Adult Protective Services for that sister who was disabled in a wheelchair and she transitioned. And then also for this little boy who had been sexually violated by that teenage boy. No one did nothing for them in there. Not that circus cult leader standing up there. Because he doesn't give a fuck about you. Y'all don't give a fuck about each other. How you gonna sit up or care about somebody else and this is to you, twin, and you didn't do anything for your son? You didn't report it yourself. So how you gonna care about somebody else? How is anybody up in there gonna care about somebody else when they didn't report this abuse? In either case, took somebody who's out of there, who got kicked out, all because I didn't want to go back there and exercise and I wasn't losing weight at the rate that he wanted me to. Talking about that circus cult leader. He know what I'm saying is true. All y'all who listening know what I'm saying is true. I'm not lying, and I'm waiting for him to get up there and say that I'm lying. And like I said, don't you run your mouth on me. And not any of these other brothers and sisters who done left from up out of there. You got your hands full with that clan that you got in there with them silly members who said you got your hands way full. Don't need to be trying to bring nobody else up in there. Don't you know that one spoiled rotten apple spoils a whole bunch? One rotten apple spoils a whole bunch. You get a rotten apple with a bruise on it, and you sit up here and put another apple right there and see what don't happen if it don't sit up here and it don't start making a bruise on the other apple. Get them in there and put them side by side and let them touch like that. That other apple that's healthy, nothing wrong with it, it's going to form a bruise. No, you don't need to be sitting up here getting nobody else in there. Get them straightened out first. You get them straightened out, but you're not going to be able to. Like I said, they can't get right because you not right, nigga. You damn nigga bum one, you. Yeah, I said it. Take it. Take it with your whore, your crime family, with your fine monkey officers. Keyboard man, Tiny Tim, with his fraud ring going on, and you getting money from it too. He's not doing anything in there. That's one of the ones, like I said, in your little circle, in your little group. Yeah. Sure enough, you getting kickbacks off of fraud, the insurance fraud. But like I said, y'all all gonna be listed. He gonna be the main one. Yeah, I'm talking to you, keyboard man, Tiny Tim. Need a doggone step ladder to get up on that stool to play on that keyboard. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, nigga. Bum, one, circus cult leader, commander-in-chief of the clowns, chief of the terrors. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want it, like I said, and it be coming back on this camera. Not no physical violence. Be coming right back here on this camera. And let me tell you about the ones who done left from out of there, and y'all sitting up here and y'all want vengeance and y'all want to get back at them physically. Do not do that. Please do not do that. He want to be put out his misery. He wants somebody else. He want others to be miserable like him. That's why them silly members in there miserable like him. Yeah, for real. Do not do it. He's not worth it. He's not worth you losing your freedom. He's not worth you losing your family, your spouse, your children if you have them. He's not worth you losing your life. We gonna get him, like I said, through the law firm and through these 3, 4, and 5 letter agencies. Because they coming. They coming, nigga bum one. They coming. Been notified. They coming. And that bank. And that bank. Let me not forget to go ahead and add that on that bank too. So y'all former members who, out here and everything and y'all feeling that way, I get it. Because I was real hot too when I came, just thinking about things. But no, have to do it strategically and we have to do it the right way. And we're doing it. Seriously. It's a win-win situation. Win-win situation. For real. But I wanted to get that out there because I don't want anybody to lose their life. You've already lost a lot of years of your life sitting in there. Time and energy are the two most precious and most precious commodities because you can't get that back. You can get money back. You can get money back. You lose a possession. You can go and get that back. But time, you can't get that back. Energy that you done put out and everything, you can't get that back. No. So you've already lost that. So, you just be thankful and grateful that you out here living your life freely and everything. And just don't do anything that's going to cost you your freedom. Please don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna close out this video. And until the next time, I'm signing out.